turn, he co-founded Eastbourne Palestine Solidarity Campaign to raise awareness of the plight of Palestinians and counteract the silencing of Palestinian voices in the UK. He and his PSC colleagues, which we're very welcome here tonight, and supporters have gathered every Saturday, every single Saturday, even when they've been going up to demonstrations. There's always been a presence here outside Eastbourne Station since October the 7th, 2023. We're very pleased to have him here to speak about the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Thanks, Mark.
Louise actually asked me to speak on the subject of Zionism on the far right.
Sorry,
So that's what we're going to hear about.
It kind of all fits, yeah.
So in the last 2 decades, the world has been impacted by a series of disasters: the 2008 banking crisis and the growing evidence of the failure of liberal economics, the COVID pandemic, and now global warming and climate change. Huge numbers of the world's population are on the move, fleeing war, pestilence and famine. This is an enormous challenge, and societies are looking for ways to manage it. In the UK, Europe and the USA, this has led to a shift to the right in established political parties and the emergence of new far-right parties such as Reform, who are looking for successful models for managing and controlling borders. One such model is the Zionist model in Israel. Zionism is an ethno-cultural political movement which supporters see as a liberation movement for the repatriation of peoples to their ancestral homelands. One nation, one people, one faith. Critics, on the other hand, see it as a white suprematist, colonial, apartheid and racist ideology. Israel has very successfully defended its borders, possibly partly by never defining them, and has managed to create a largely homogeneous Jewish population by controlling ruthlessly the Palestinian inhabitants there, whilst encouraging Jews to come from the diaspora. It has done this largely free of reproach, even in the face of multiple international critical reports and endless examples of failure to obey international law. Whilst currently seen by some as a pariah state due to the continuing Gaza genocide, its support among Western governments remains apparently undiminished. Zionism seems to be a sustainable political model shrouded in the rhetoric of defense of Western democratic values. Israel has been assiduous in making alliances with other like-minded countries, notably white suprematist South Africa in the 1960s, and later right-wing dictatorships in Paraguay, Argentina and Chile. Israel continues to court right-wing governments, most successfully the USA, with the support of Christian Zionists, who far outnumber Jewish Zionists. The Israeli Minister for the Diaspora, Amichai Chikli, has invited a procession of far-right politicians to visit over the years, including Oban, Meloni, Le Pen, Bolsonaro, Trump and Modi. But Israel has also been courting our major political parties here, with frequent fact-finding trips with MPs of all parties, who seldom meet Palestinians, and now Tommy Robinson, hailing him as a courageous leader in the front line against radical Islam. What's going on? Well, a shared outlook of racial supremacy and Islamophobia seems to have allowed old enemies to become new friends. The feared others are no longer Jews, but Muslims. Far-right parties in Europe have become Zionism's biggest backers. Far-right ideas are almost mainstream in political discourse today. In the UK, we have a Prime Minister proudly announcing that he is a Zionist. And the emergence of reform, with its emphasis on defending borders and turning away refugees, has powerfully changed the political agenda here too. As the far right seeks to renew its image to the public and make electoral gains, support for Zionism has become a key pillar of the project. Hatred of Jews replaced by new forms of racism and xenophobia. Israel's benediction of Tommy Robinson would have done what it does to all those it befriends. It applauds and provides support to his Islamophobia. It will ensure financial and moral support from pro-Israeli elites and individuals, especially in the States, and it enhances his stature. And for Israel, it puts pressure on the UK government to respond to his challenge and the challenge of other far-right groups about how to manage the problems that confront them. It offers a successful way of managing recalcitrant populations and by controlling borders, so preserving the ethno-cultural nature of its population. Already in the UK, we are seeing increasing Islamophobia. There has been a 92% increase in Muslim hate crimes since 2023. Locally, we have seen evidence of this in the recent setting fire to the Peacehaven Mosque. We see it also in our weekly PSC Town Centre stall. This is Islamophobia Awareness Month, and the British Muslim Trust, which is funded by government grants, has in response to the increased anti-Muslim hate launched a new helpline to more accurately record instances of Islamophobia and to offer support to those affected. It's also Palestine Awareness Week, and Islamophobia is evident also in the anti-Palestinian racism we see in the media reports of the Gaza genocide and our own government's response to it. We see it also in the silencing of pro-Palestinian voices in places such as universities and schools, and in the use of the Terrorism Act to suppress Pal Action and arrest of its supporters. Demonisation and scapegoating of some of the most vulnerable people in the world and spreading fear of the other unites Israel, the far right and Tommy Robinson while dividing communities. This has to be resisted. Groups such as Stand Up to Racism and the Palestine Solidarity Campaign and parties such as the Greens are in the forefront of this resistance. The Palestine Solidarity Campaign has declared itself an anti-Zionist organisation, and we're still waiting for other organisations to be as clear about that as we are. At our Saturday stalls in Eastbourne Town Centre, we're not just about explaining to people about what's happening to Palestinians and articulating support for them. We are an anti-racist organisation,